All right. The Rings of Power. We're going to do kind of a fun one today. I'm just going to redraw the Rings of Power, Lady Galadriel, just for fun. I've done a lot of these tutorials, and I'm going to sort of show you how I put all these things that I've been teaching and talking about together into an illustration. So my way of drawing the female figure and that sort of thing. Now, the Rings of Power, I wasn't a fan because I'm really a traditionalist when it comes to Lord of the Rings. But I did like some things, like this armor. I thought this armor on Lady Galadriel was fantastic. So I'm gonna do this. Have fun with this. She kind of has that Joan of Arc look. Which I think is pretty cool. Let's see my tutorial on gesture drawing. See that flow? That I'm using that flow. Now I'm using my tutorial on how to draw a female figure. Starting with the 3 objects. The 3 upper torso, inner cylinder, and rounded object on the back side. And look at that. Easy. Now the hand, remember that gestures of the hand are so important to give an expression to a figure. Don't underestimate the power of a hand gesture. All right. The one thing I didn't care for with Lord of the Rings of Power was the Lady Galadriel's character. It wasn't really, in this picture, she seems pretty angry. And that is not appealing, especially to men who like the Lord of the Rings. It's kind of a lot of women love Lord of the Rings, but it's mostly a story written by men, or written by a man for men. And the women in it are very strong, but they're also beautiful. And and Tolkien, you can tell, wrote his wife into a lot of his stuff. I think he considered his wife beautiful, and I think he saw her dancing one time or something. He really modeled her, the way he felt towards women in his all of the female characters. Not weak, very strong, but in a different kind of strength, a magical kind of strength. So that's the way I'm going to envision or take it in the same direction with this Lady Galadriel. All right, I think this is okay. This figure's good. Now this armor, this is where it's really cool, man. It's like almost like a little heart there. That is a cool design. Armor is so cool because you can do anything with it. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna give her a little more boobs, so it's not a tight squeeze inside this armor. Boob room. Armor is actually very feminine the way it flips out. If you know anything about female fashion, I know a little bit about female fashion. This is actually a nice fitted shirt. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't say that about female fashion. Oh no. All right. Armor, this is great. All right. She's looking good, looking cool. See the pose there of the hand. It's just it's feminine. It's it's whimsical, but still strong. You can have even with it when you're drawing a guy, you can still draw an expressive hand and still keep it masculine. This armor looks like it would actually work pretty well. It looks functional. All right. Very cool. Now I'm going to go up here. This if you don't know much about Photoshop, I have the brush tool, and up here is a right here is a switch, and between the toggles here, so to speak, you can get a straight shot and a sort of tapered, softer shot. Now the important thing about that is when you're doing something straight, you can hold down the shift key and do that, and you get a straight line. When you have it like this, it's not so much. You can get, it sort of works, but when I'm trying to get something like the sword done, I will, let's see, I'm going to use this, and I'll go from here to here. And then I can kind of, because this is an underlay, and I want to get it pretty precise when you're talking about a sword. Okay, I'm going to switch back to this softer edge. You can see that I'm not really sure what that's called up there, but okay, this is pretty cool. Now I got to get this face right because the face ain't working right now, but just got to get the mechanics of it right. Drawing the human head, there's another tutorial I did. You can check that one out. Actually, one thing I haven't really done, I really need to do next is draw a female human head. I mean, I did do, I think I did, maybe I didn't do a female on that tutorial, but definitely need to work on showing people that because it's a little different. Like, you know, the basics are all the same, but okay, let's bring this down. Way, way down. Almost you can't see it. I'm going to create a new layer. This time I'm going in. Going in, kids. Get a little sharper tool. I draw the eyeballs sometimes first. That helps get it right. Eyes are everything. Eyes are so important. Noses are, you got more options with noses. They reveal the character, but not, you don't have to worry about the beauty is not as connected to a beautiful woman as the eyes are. The eyes are really important. The window of the soul or something like that, is that what they say? Okay. And the lips also, you have more leeway, different types of lips, thinner, thicker. I think I'm going to make hers a little bit smaller. I'm thinking angelic. When I think of Lady Galadriel, I think angelic. There's a little eraser tool there. Kind of high cheekbones, you know, the exotic cheekbones, but rather, I would say more thin face. I feel like that's my vision of her anyways. A thinner face. In fact, I'll bring in these cheekbones a little more. I still think I have that sort of core understanding of how to draw the human head from the How to Draw Comics the Marvel way. But John Buscema, there's still that little bit John Buscema stuff in my work, which is fine because I think it's nicely drawn faces and looks beautiful. She may be looking a little too bony. Let's see if I can smooth this out a little bit more. The interesting thing about elves is, if you know the lore, they're both old and young. They're supposed to look kind of, which is really an interesting. How do you draw that? I mean, that's confusing. Both old and young. You notice I'm spending a lot of time on getting the face because that's so critical. Now with the eyes, keep in mind you don't want to, you don't need much really. Sometimes I leave this open for color. Just plop in a color. Okay. Now the hair, boy, you can just have fun with hair. I would imagine hers is beautiful. Gimli, is that how you say Gimli, the dwarf, seemed pretty enchanted by Lady Galadriel, and really liked just a couple of strands of her hair, or a strand of her hair he asked for, and he got several. So that's a guy in love, I think. I think you would call that guy somewhat taken aback by this woman, enchanting woman. Her eyes may look a little too big. I don't want that anime kind of big-eyed girl. I like Western art. I like traditional Western art, which means realism. Okay, don't like that strand that much. Okay, I think it's working pretty good. Time for moving on to the figure. The neck. Neck on a female, be careful. Don't make it too thick. Don't make it too thin, Make sure you're drawing that side muscle coming out there. That's where the strength comes from. Okay, let me pull back. Let me take a look at this costume. It's sort of a star with a round thingy in the middle. Alrighty. Star. With a round thingy in the middle. There you go. Okay. I just love, I don't know, something about this armor, the way it swoops around here. And its grooves is groovy. That's a 1970s term for all you youngin' kids out there. People call things groovy. We really didn't say groovy, by the way. It was stupid. I thought it was stupid back then, and even in the middle of the 70s. So, no one said groovy, man. But now I can say it. Groovy. looks cool. Got to look at the armor again. I just pull back here. I can't see the details as much, so it's not going to be as tight. Oh, I see. I didn't even do that right. Oh well. Let me just fix it. I'm a perfectionist. So. Yeah, that's what I like about the armor anyways. The fitted shirt. Style art. It cinches. It causes an illusion of a thinner waist. Okay, what does she look like? Is he all right? That face is just... I'm going to do the old flipperoo thing because that's so helpful when you're looking at the faces. I want to see if that... Yeah. See, I do this mistake. Everybody does this mistake so many times. You make one eye higher than the other, and that's why I try to draw the eyeball in, because it's... in the inside, because you miss the mark often. I'm gonna use my arrow keys just to bring it down a little bit. All right, that's not too bad. Maybe it didn't look like much to you, but it did to me. It sometimes things you don't really know why they're incorrect, but they're incorrect. They just look weird. So I think I could bring this mouth out just a touch too. This is what I love. Can work on the computer. I can work out my flaws. It's just hard to do this with a computer. What we usually do, used to do, and still do, when you're drawing on paper, is use a mirror. That looks good though. That face looks nice and decent now. Not too shabby. Does she look angelic? I don't know. I think she looks pretty cool. I gotta make these eye lines a little bit thinner. I don't want to make them too high. I don't want to make them. I don't want Spock. Maybe the hair isn't so good at this point. I think maybe I need to do something about the widow's peak. I think I don't want the widow's peak kind of thing. It's not as beautiful. Something like this, maybe. That looks too crappy. Maybe we need some kind of turn. Some kind of part, maybe? I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter much. Hair is just, yeah, just let it flow. Okay. Maybe I'll try finish it on this side, doing this backwards. I'm going to add a little bit of difference to the armor. Doesn't matter. This is not that important. I just want the feel of that armor. Kind of looks like plate armor there. It's got some lines in it. That's cool. And this makes it looks like it's functional because it's got a bend here for the bicep. Shoulder looks or the elbow looks kind of cool. Looks like there's actually some ribbing in here too. I'll just put that in. Gives it more of an alien thing or fantastic fantasy. Okay, the hand. I did a tutorial on hands. If you want to know how to draw hands, I really go into depth on hands. My hands are actually better from doing that tutorial, because that's they say if you teach it, sometimes you will be forced to really study things. And so I learned some things while I was working on the hands. Okay, you can see that I had to go farther with the hand, so it means the sword here is a little bit off. But I'm not going to worry about that right now, because I might just move the lower sketch down for that. Okay, this is bunched up in the picture, but stretched out in my picture, so I'm going to put some waviness there to it. I'm not going to draw all the chainmail in there. I'll be here for all day drawing that. I'd like to. It's fun, but I can't see the knees, so I'll just make that up. Imagine something like the shoulder or the elbows. I might just flip this. It might be easier to go here this way with this stuff. I'm a righty. It's funny that I actually do tend to like to draw things, faces looking to the left. Like this, it's more natural for me. And I'm not sure why. Like being right-handed, it's like that, like that. Okay. Alma looks cool. Take those ridges. Dig 'em. I think I'm just going to do like just for indication. Because there's no time for a quick drawing like this. Okay, now I'm just going to take this and move it down so I can draw the sword easily. I am going to switch to that straight line here. Actually do that here, because I do have a thinner piece. And maybe I'll bring it to a 1 on the edge here. Okay, back to my softer touch brush here. Finish up the end of that. Add a little bit of thickness here. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of this. See how I did. How's this looking? It's kind of cool. Oh, I need to add, what am I missing? The shoulder on this side. Get that armor here. Am I missing anything else? Let me see her costume. This kind of flows into here. Again, very cool. Love the way this thing flows. Don't want to give her any of those neck tattoos. Those are nasty. Ladies never get neck tattoos. Okay. Just so you know, they're gross. Guys don't like them. All right, what's that? How's that looking? Looking kind of cool. I'm just gonna keep this nice and loose. I'm not doing. This is not a finished illustration. It's not high-end finished illustration. It's just a sketch. some chainmail in here. I think this is chainmail 2. Yeah, this is the quickie version of chainmail. All right, I think she's coming along. Coming along, Lady Galadriel. I'm glad with the results here. I do want her to be strong, though. She is. I think there's some of the lore that she was kind of a good fight and could do battle. She's not. She's not a wimpy girl. But what they did in the Rings of Power was too much. They lost her femininity. I felt like, anyways. Not a big fan. I think it's not fair when you take someone else's story and slap your name on it, kind of, and say, hey, this is Lord of the Rings. It's not. It's just your story. Then you took the Lord of the Rings and made it into your own story. You're just, it's like stealing someone's stolen honor, stealing someone else's creation. Shouldn't do that. Make your own story, make your own characters that are like the Lord of the Rings if you like, but don't call it, don't make it Lady Galadriel. Don't call it that. It's annoying. I wish I don't know what those pants look like. Maybe I'm gonna assume it's got the ribbing in it. Let me take this down here. Like the other one, like plate armor. All right. I like that. It's cool. Maybe I'll add a bit of color to it. Could be kind of fun to finish it off. Make her rather angelic. Let's see. Give me some nice skin tones. Yeah. I'm going to color this very lightly. Nothing intense. Very expressionistic. Oops, I don't want to do that. I want to keep the eyes whitish. You see what I'm doing here is pushing I have my brush tool and I push option. It changes it into the eyedropper, and I get that white from the page, and I can just go in there. It's a quick way. I use it all the time when I'm drawing. Besides my color wheel here. Okay, let's go down. Pick a nice pink color for lips. Give her a little pink cheeks, maybe a little more orange in the cheeks. When I do faces and stuff, I often do give them. You hit the cheeks, you hit the nose, lips, maybe a little bit of the ear. Places where you have more blood in them. Basically, that's kind of the way it works. Around the eyes, I kind of tend to do a little bit bluish. Yeah, that's from being from the 70s. Eyeshadow. as I am a product of the 70s, which is ancient history to you kids. Let's see. Now with the hair, I am going to, she had apparently, golden hair, super golden, and I am going to make it very, very golden. I'm using a little bit of orange to start it off with. Then I'm going towards the yellow. And I'm going to actually hit this with a bigger brush. All right. Now I'm going to do something interesting with the hair. I make it almost a little bit metallic, shiny. Go in here with almost a hard edge. See how it's almost like it's shiny, like it's metallic. So it really looks like shiny gold. And here's another thing too. I'm gonna go to this first layer that has the drawing on it. Go up here, see this little lock button here, this little square thingy. Hit that. It locks the layer. Now I can actually go in here and it'll only affect what's on that layer, and so I can color this stuff. I can make it a brown. Hang on a second. I can keep the line work. I can color the line work, so it's not so harsh, dark. Which is cool. You know, so that's a nice feel now. In fact, I might just do that a little bit with her face. Make her not the eyelashes, but the just to make it a little bit more ethereal. Okay, now she's looking pretty darn beautiful, angelic. I can see Gimli going, baby. Using a little bit of a complementary color. There's another tutorial I just did, working on colors and complementary colors and playing with things like that. I got so many good tutorials that people can check out. It's really, I got a full art course, and that's my goal, is to give you a full art course, the kind of art course that costs you thousands of dollars to get at an expensive art college. I'm just going to put it on YouTube, my instruction. Make it for free. Okay, I'm gonna get in here. I'm not worried about the hands. I think I'll just, okay, this is looking pretty good though, I think. What do y'all think? She looks beautiful. She looks cool. I think I'm gonna create a different layer just for the armor. Get some bluish grayish thing here going. I don't like this brush that much. People ask me about what kind of brushes I use. I just use the standard ones that come with it. There's soft ones. My brushes, there's soft ones, there's soft edge ones, there's hard edge ones. That's all I need. I don't need anything else. People get hung up on brushes sometimes. It's like, don't worry about brushes. Just, you need a soft edge, you need a hard edge. That's all you need. think I might make her show you how to make the armor. You know, it's another tutorial I did on how to paint armor. Different kinds of armor, different degrees of shine. I've covered a lot of subjects, I realize now already, so that's good. You should, if you look at those stuff, you could find out how I did it. Because those tutorials are just simply how I did it. I figured it out. You know, a lot of it, some of it was learning from books, some of it was learning from school. I went to art school, but honestly, most of it, it's self-taught. The way I learned it. But I'm still learning. I'm still learning today. So if you watched my tutorial on armor, how might I do this? Make this super shiny. A dark line right here. See this? It may not look right just yet. You'll see now as I put it together. Okay. Super shine armor. Now I think I don't want it to be super duper duper shiny, so let's see. I might soften it a little bit. Soften those edges, because I do want to see those ridges and stuff. I think they're cool. And I want it to be more angelic too. Right, I'm going to hit this with a bigger. See, now it's looking pretty silvery armor kind of thing. I could make it gold. That'd be kind of cool. Very cool, as a matter of fact. I'll try it once I've done everything, because I can just hit it with a color overlay. Change it to gold. All right, this. Make the underside of that kind of a shade. Okay, that looks kind of cool. A little bit of the sky. When you're thinking of shine, if you haven't watched my other tutorials on painting armor, in essence, this is reflecting the ground below down here. It's shining down, and this is reflecting the sky. So especially with the sky, you see it's kind of light to dark. You see me using my eyedropper all the time here. That's for sure. I do love Lord of the Rings. By the way, I listen to it on tape sometimes. I read it all the time. I can't get enough of Lord of the Rings. Silmarillion too. All of it. Hobbit. Just love that stuff. Humongo fan. All right, I think she's looking pretty good. I think, it's about as far as I'm going to take it. It's cool. It looketh goodeth, my friends. I think. Maybe I'll throw in just a touch of background. Just so I can put it all together. Oops, some of that's shining through because I didn't do her face that much. So I better make that white. Although it's kind of cool, actually, the way it's like an underpainting. But I do want to keep her face very warm. Okay. Now I noticed I think I got to zoom in on the eye. It's not, and it bothers me that, see this pink right here? That bothers me. I can see it. It's like she's got red eyes or something, kind of needs a Visine or something. Now, normally when I'm painting something, I don't make this white. But since this is a light drawing, when you're painting eyes, it's really not white. But this is a very light colored, watercolory kind of thing. Then you can make that white. But generally speaking, if you're painting realistically, you want to avoid the eyeball being really white. So I'm doing little highlights here just to make it cool. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go with another layer over the top of the drawing layers itself, and I am going to make some real highlights. Some shine, some sunlight, real shine. Let's see how that looks. Just to make it, the armor just really. I like shiny armor. It's cool. There's a few highlight areas on the sword, maybe. So it looks kind of cool. All right. There, I think this is a done deal. Done deal, kids. Yeah. Does that look like... my feeling about this particular drawing here is she's good, but I think I would like to see her just a little bit taller and stronger. That's my only critique of my own work here. I like her. I think she looks like Lady Galadriel, but I don't know. It's up to your whatever your opinion might be. Maybe yours think it's right on. I don't know, but she looks beautiful. That's good. She looks, exotic. That's good. She doesn't look pissed like this one here. Oh my gosh. She looks like she's so mad. Oh, man. This one, she's not weak. She's strong, Mean does not mean strong, necessarily. Okay. Now, last thing I'm going to try, is just for fun, I'm going to try making this armor gold. So I'm going to take another layer. Up here in this where it says normal, I'm going to bring the pull down and do color. Now this is, that's saturation, hang on, color. And I'm going to go with an orange here, and I'm going to just plaster this thing and see what happens. Just for fun, what she would look like with gold armor. Wait, I got to make it, wait, another thing, it'll cover the whole thing. I want it just to go over the armor. So take this layer, right click, and then go down to create clipping mask here. Now it'll only sample over the coloring that I did here. So okay, so making that gold. I kind of like it gold. She's kind of golden lady, so to speak, And that's kind of cool. I might make this back here golden. Hang on a second. I'm gonna see Command U. Oh, you won't be able to see this on my screen, but I bring it up my hue and saturation, and oh, I wonder if you could see it this way. No, I don't think it will work this way either. You can't see my when I change the saturation, but I'm changing the hue on that background layer from here, the blue one. Command hue brings up your hue saturation, and I'm just going to move it to, oh, look at that green. That's cool. A gold. So this lady is really gold. Super gold lady. And that's it. I think I am done, son. What do y'all think of this? This was fun. I love drawing stuff like this, man. It's so cool. Whoops. What am I doing here? I want to move like that. Okay. There it is. Looks good looking. She looks impressive, strong, beautiful, feminine. This is the way I think I see Lady Galadriel. So maybe I said maybe the only thing, maybe a little taller or something. Not so beefy, but I think I'm kind of following this here, being influenced by this realistic drawing. And this is a normal person, but when you're drawing a fantastic person, a fantasy person, the proportions are not the same. As a matter of fact, let's try this. One last thing here, just to give you a feel. I'm going to go Shift Option Command E. Now that takes a sort of a print of it. It copies everything. I'm going to take the other part here and put that in a group so I can hide that. Now what I'm going to do is, this isn't going to be the finished version, but just to show you what proportions mean in a character. Let's take her head and reduce it down. See, now she's taller. I'm not sure if I like it, but make it neck a little taller. But you get the idea. Her proportions are superhuman now, not normal. And I'd have to kind of like go in there and fix that a bit up. So now she looks superhuman, I think. But I don't know if I really care for it. I think I kind of like the way I drew it. There's more feel in this one. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to stick with. So anyways, you guys, I think that's it. So like and share and all that fun stuff if you can. Really appreciate that. And we'll see you on the next tutorial. I'm going to do more fun stuff, as I said. Not the... you got to know the basics, and you got to know the important information. But when it comes to the putting all the things together, that's what I really want to do. And with my channel, I'll have fun with it, So that's what I'm going to show you the rules, and then show you how I use the rules that I have. That's it. So thanks everyone for showing up, and we'll see you next time. Bye.